Hi, Dr. Weldon here again, shoulder and elbow surgeon. Today we're going to be demonstrating the doorway stretch. Now the doorway stretch is a powerful stretch that's designed for people who have tight shoulders, either because they naturally developed a tight shoulder or because they had an injury and they need to get their shoulder looser. It's specifically designed for people who don't have time to do the 4-quadrant stretching, which involves 5 or 6 stretches 5 times a day. This stretch is for people who are on the go, either at the work site, at a workplace, or at home that have a lot of stuff going on. And it can be done utilizing, as the name says, a doorway. It can also be done utilizing a post or a frame, vertical frame of any kind. But today we're going to demonstrate it using a doorway as its namesake. So, the doorway stretch is an attempt to recreate the crank test. Now you might want to check out the video on the crank test, which is a diagnostic test to test for capsulitis. And the crank test involves the doctor taking the patient, and if we're concerned about the patient having capsulitis of her right shoulder here, we simply put the arm into this position and crank it back. Now if she has capsulitis of her shoulder, she will make a face because it will hurt. And we're going to demonstrate that now. That's the capsulitis face. Now, the doorway stretch is an attempt to recreate that exact motion. In order to do that, the patient finds a doorway, any doorway will do. They take their arm and put the elbow in front of the door and the hand holding on behind. This is very important. The hand is the only part that is tense. These muscles here are holding the arm up. The muscles of the bicep and tricep and the rotator cuff should be completely relaxed. The elbow is pinned in front of the doorway and held behind the doorway. Now, the person is going to rotate over this axis. They are not going to externally rotate. So go ahead and externally rotate. That is not how to do it. They are also not going to step forward. That is not how to do it. The way to do it is the hips go back and the head comes forward. Go ahead, like that. So she stayed in axis. Now she holds that for 30 seconds and she does that as often as she finds a doorway. Now relax. There are ways to do this wrong, and the variables that you have to experiment with is the angle between the humerus and the chest wall and the angle between the humerus and the flank. The object of this stretch is to feel circumferential stretching. So in other words, stretching pain all the way around the shoulder. If you are feeling it only in the back or only in the front, you have to adjust the angles. And these are the 2 angles that we're most interested in. So if she was feeling it only in the back, then only in the front, I should say, then what she would do is close this angle down, keeping her feet straight in line with me, keeping her feet straight in line like that. Now she can do it, lock it. She locks in again. The angle, we've closed it down, and she does it again. And now that should cause more stretching in the back. Relax. Now if she feels it more only in the front still, then she would close the angle even further. Okay? Now, if she's doing the stretching and she feels it only on the top, then she should elevate her arm and do the stretch again. That should get more of the inferior capsule. Relax. If she's doing the stretching and she feels it only in the inferior part of the joint, then she would want to lower this down in order to get more of the top of her shoulder. Go ahead. Oh, lock in front. Very good. So when you're doing this at home, what you need to do is you need to experiment with the angle of the humerus to the chest wall and the angle of the humerus to the flank, up and down this way. And what you're looking for, again, is circumferential stretching pain. If you're doing this stretch and you do not have any pain, you are wasting your time. Now again, this stretch was designed for people who are on the go. And if you look around any work site or any home, there are doorways everywhere. And anytime you find a doorway, do the stretch. Do it gentle and do it often. I hope you find this interesting. Thank you very much.